So I want to ask about some, since no one is talking and no one is asking any questions. I want to ask about that. I know some sisters in the community that they come from a very abusive relationship. They come from a very abusive relationship with their spouses, or like narcissistic relationship or something like that, where there's constant negativity from people around them, always give them like these things to break them down, like some kind of comments, say things, make you cry. It has nothing to do with me being extra sensitive. Sometimes, like I become extra sensitive with all these negativity, of course. But I mean, every time I want to come step forward, I feel that people are just pulling me always backward. Or like every time I want to say something, I want to do something good, I always get those sarcastic comments that always push me down, always blame me for everything. Always, if anything happened in the house, it is me, it's my fault, and always like people always pressing me down. How do you deal with a situation like that? What should I do as a person to overcome these obstacles at home?
Well, these dynamics sometimes occur when families have experienced that it's kind of an intergenerational abuse. They may have witnessed, that their father was one who may have had a heavy hand, and so they don't realize that those patterns of behavior are within themselves as well, and they continue a pattern of behavior that they had carried on, that their father or their grandfather had also inflicted on their mother. And on the other side, the female will often accept these behaviors if she has seen her mother in a situation where she has been submissive, or she has accepted, or tolerated behaviors that her husband or father had inflicted. And you'll find that they tend to mirror sometimes the same behaviors of their mother. And it really takes a lot of effort to correct and change, and to remove yourself from patterns of behavior that repeat themselves. Sometimes you're in a pattern of behavior and you don't even realize that it's happening, but you're just not feeling well. You can't really understand that this criticism is just bringing you down, and you don't realize that this is coming from your husband's behavior that he picked up from his dad and from that he's witnessed. And so it's not that he truly wants to be that person, but he's challenged by his own conditioning. And a lot of that behavior is conditioning.
It's like a cycle.
Precisely. It's a cycle of abuse. Mm-hmm. And this is a pattern that keeps repeating itself. And until you break that pattern, you sometimes can't even realize that you're in it, because when he starts being good to you and you have the honeymoon period and he's buying you gifts or he's nice to you, you say, oh, everything's fine, and and he's so good to me and he loves me so much, and then somehow the cycle repeats itself. So it can be very challenging for our sisters. Especially what's difficult is if we come into these situations as Muslims, we're actually leaving our families thinking that we're becoming Muslims, so now we're going to be with this perfect people. And I know for myself, I had a good family, Italian family, and then I thought, no, I'm going to be with the perfect people. This is a perfect, perfect religion and everything. And I had to realize at first, I was young, I was in my 20s, and then I would see, a person who's Muslim hit their wife, or they lied, or they were cheating, and then I had to realize that the religion is perfect, Allah is perfect, the Quran is perfect, but the people are not. That's a big wake-up call for me, at least for my first initiation into Islam. And I've been Muslim for 33 years, but I just kept thinking I was in a perfect religion, so all the people were perfect, and that's something that is a work in progress. We're all trying to become better
So you promise me next time when we come and we need to talk about this more, because this is something that almost, a lot of people that I know that they are going through this. I went through this myself.